Yeah, coach. I guess you knew that Cario could do that. Just in terms of seeing him put it together this early, how important was it for him to have a game like this to build on? I think you're on mute, coach.
Oh, there it is. I'm sorry. There it is. I'm sorry. In response to Cario, there's no question that he's got a lot of tools and a lot of talent in there. And I think he was highly disappointed from the way he played on Saturday night. And I think what he did tonight is he came out with an aggressive defensive mindset. He had 11 deflections. He came out with an attack mindset. I give his coaches back home credit as well, because I know they've talked to him, and we're not trying to overcoach him, but we are trying to get him to understand what he's capable of when it comes to attacking the rim, attacking the glass, and being an attack guy defensively, and really being active with his hands and doing all those types of things. So he works extremely hard. We forget that he's a freshman. Even though he's 21, he's a freshman, and it takes time. And to see him break out tonight like that, to see Aaron play the way he did, to see Braylon continue to play the way he did, those are the kind of things. Jabri is going to have it. Noah shot the ball well. When you're a new program like this, or new players in the program like this, it takes time to get it to come together. But every time it does, you should be able to build on your confidence with it and hopefully make it a continuation.
Tom, you've seen a lot of basketball. Do you still get excited when you see a player make the kind of highlight plays he makes, or is it just move on and play defense?
Yeah, I don't. I'm not as much. I'm not as much with that. I just look at the game differently. I was very impressed with the steal. How active his hands were. Certainly the plays are good. I've coached a lot of guys that can do that, but how they get to it is what separates them. Do they get it off offensive boards? Do they get it off steals? Do they get it off picking somebody's pocket? Do they get it on reading the defense and making a cut? Those are the kind of things. And so me, it's much more about the coaching and how do we help them do it even more than it is the actual result. Though it is cool.
Okay, next we're going to go to Jed May and then Chip Towers.
Yeah, hey coach. Aaron said when you were recruiting him, you wanted him to. He said that you told him, you wanted him to come and be that guy, lead the offense, all that kind of stuff. When he has a night like tonight, 22 points and 8 assists or whatever it was, just how are you seeing him grow into that role of leading the offense and sort of taking the reins of this team so far?
Well, first off, he's a tremendous defensive player, and I said this on the radio earlier, but after our walkthrough, I try not to use the entire time, so I think we were down about 315 or 320. And Mark Sloniker had one of his grad classes in the building, and they were up in the stand. So I went up to talk to them, and I think our walkthrough's over. Guys are going up to eat, and I hear commotion. So maybe the managers are playing. I turn around, I see our team on the floor. I'm thinking, wait a minute, we can't be playing pickup. Aaron was taking the team through transition defense, and trust me, that's not normal, and that has not happened here where it wasn't coach driven in my 4 years. So he was literally taking the team through what we had to get done in transition, the rotations of it, and he was doing it on his own. And that's the kind of leadership we need. They didn't go up to eat until he was done, and that's what you need. And the game that he had, when you do things like that, the fact that he scored his 1,000th point tonight, those are really, really good things. And I think he's going to get better and better. He's improving. He's made so many strides since he's been here, and he made a lot of strides in games since the Charlotte exhibition we had 3+ weeks ago.
Coach, did you see some things tonight, some improvements from the first couple of ball games that you were hoping to see heading into Friday night's game, which obviously has a lot of tension?
Well, we're behind in certain areas, and we're behind in zone offense. We're behind in getting guys to understand we attack pressure. We don't just break the pressure. And they did a good job of slowing us down and then getting into that zone. And we'll get better and better, not only because we can shoot, but because we have guys that can seal and we have some guys that can pass. So you see what you have to continue to work on. You see where the movement is. You see where they're making progress on the defensive end. We've got to get better at guarding the dribble. That's a constant challenge, probably for most programs, but it's definitely a challenge for ours. We've got to continue to understand how to get matched up and talk and transition. And we've got to continue to understand how many good things happen when we get 3, 4, 5, 6 passes and the ball gets reversed 3 times.
Okay, next we're going to go to Lance McCurley and then Drew Beal.
I guess just kind of talk about this hot start tonight and how did that help y'all kind of, run in transition and kind of run away with this game, especially in the second half when it got close. I think it got down to like 7 points.
Well, I think we kept guarding, and when we weren't scoring, we didn't come back down on the defensive end and hang our head. And that's the sign of maturity that you have to have. It didn't mean we were playing great. We definitely gave up some plays off the dribble and some threes, but they're a very, very fast team. I told our team that we'll play some fast teams this year. There's no doubt about that. But to this point, that was the fastest team we were going to play because they just attack and transition, get out and play, and numerous guys can score. They were scoring 16 points a game in the fast break, and they were getting 16 points off their free throws. So the fact that we were able to cut the free throws down considerably and cut their break points down, those were big, big parts of the game within the game, for us and the way we're trying to chart it as we go through it. But we just needed to keep coming. And there's no question I played guys too many minutes without breaks early on. I rolled the dice on that, and we were able to be fortunate with it. I would have liked to sub more, but we had it going, and I didn't want to mess with the momentum of the game. But at some point in time, it's going to come back and get you a little bit with the fatigue. And so we were able to get that second wind and keep it going and stay on the attack.
Hey, Coach. The team did a great job defensively tonight, recording 13 steals, many of which obviously led to some easy fast break dunks and layups, which is always a good thing. Was applying ball pressure early in possessions aggressively up near half court something you emphasized specifically coming into the game tonight?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We wanted to bring pressure to them. We've had different games where some people really want that pressure, like the Cincinnati guards want you to get up and get on them so they can attack and play. So that wasn't our game plan. But tonight, that was our game plan. A freshman guard who's going to be a really good player, but get up at him. Aaron is a tremendous defensive player, and Kario is going to be, and Christian Wright is way ahead of the game than most freshmen when it comes to defensively in the backcourt. Noah, Jabri, those guys have got to continue to get better. Cam McDowell's going to be a very good defender. It was just one of those nights tonight, safe enough for me to do a lot of subbing. And I played guys, like I said, a lot of minutes early on, but it's because that pressure was so good and we were on the attack.
Okay, next we're going to go to Jared Smith and then Cole Aycock.
Hey, Coach. While it might not have showed up on the stat sheet, Aaron was constantly attacking the lane when shots went up tonight. Could you speak on kind of how important that is coming from the guard position?
With his driving?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, very much so. He's a power player. And he really is. I mean, he can get in the lane. He's getting better at finding people. I mean, another good night of assists after having 10 the other night. And no question, I played him too many minutes. I've said that about 5 times now. I'd like to get him more rest, but he's so good defensively and he stays on the attack. And then when he's making threes like that, which he's fully capable of, that changes the game. I thought the way he drew the fouls, was very veteran savvy. So we love Aaron. I mean, we love him. And that's why he was such an important get for us. And we've never looked back. I mean, we love what he brings leadership wise, maturity wise. He's about the team. And he's a guy that wants to learn and grow. So I love having him.
Coach, following the Cincinnati game, you talked about how you want to place an emphasis on all 5 guys being engaged once the ball goes up. How do you think you did in that aspect tonight, and how you improve on that going forward?
Well, I'll have to watch the film. I mean, we want to have 5 guys in the paint. We want to block out, be aggressive there, especially on the weak side boards, and have the guards end up getting more rebounds that way. So, but again, then it's got to be guys like Jabri, Kario, Christian, Aaron. Those guys got to be huge defensive rebounders for us. And I'll look at the film, but that's a room we can always improve upon. Or that's an area we can always improve upon, and we're going to have to.
Okay, thanks, Coach. Congrats on the win.
Thank you very much.